Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. Welcome to our Friday edition that we do every single Friday in the Sparkles and Strategy Facebook group. I am so happy that you are here. If this is the first time you're joining us, welcome. I'm Melanie Hirschhorn. I'm the content marketing strategist for women service-based business owners and authors. And I am so happy because today I have a super special guest, and she is going to come on and we are going to talk about so many wonderful things. I don't even want to spoil anything, but my guest today is Renata Mazu, and I'm going to bring her on right now. So I'm going to add her to the stream, and she's black and white again, but it will.
Oh gosh.
It's like the Wizard of Oz, where it starts out in black and white and goes into color. I'm having some strange StreamYard issues, but oh, she's in color. Yay.
Okay. Okay, so that's good.
So welcome, Renata. Okay, so you and I have talked so much about, money mindset, just mindset in general. So why don't you kind of give the people watching an idea of what you do and how you help entrepreneurs, because you are extremely helpful.
Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited because I always love conversations. And I'm like, I don't like prescripted stuff, so let's just talk. Okay, so about me. I bring two worlds together. I'm an intuitive architect, so work a lot with the mind, and I'm also the business strategist. So we set the foundation first, and then we allow people to make more money by including the aligned strategy. So in short, it's like I work with business professionals mostly, entrepreneurs mostly, so they are able to step into their full potential in life and in business. And we do that by eliminating those internal blocks, those self-imposed limitations that regular business coaches, they just don't see them. So for me, it's super important to have that foundation first, because I myself struggled for years where I was like learning every single thing. And I knew a lot of stuff, like in terms of business strategies, like for over 10 years, but I didn't really see the results that I wanted. So the moment I started building the foundation, that's where the magic started happening. So that's short. That's in short.
But it's true, right? Like you can have all the strategy in the world, but if you don't have the right mindset, then you're not going to be able to do anything. You're just going to be stuck at that block.
Yeah. And I call them money blocks, but let me just tell you the secret. It's never about money. It's just what we want most out of, let's say, businesses and in life, apart from relationships and health, right? So a lot of people see those, oh, I have success blocks, I have money blocks, but it's never about the money itself. It's about what we had in the past, what we've seen in the past, what we experienced, what people were around us, like what kind of people were, and what those people told us, and what stories we created, and what belief system we created, that internal system that's running the show at the moment. So no matter how much you know, it happens so that sometimes we hold ourselves back, that we sabotage, whether it's like procrastination or like we say, oh, we don't have motivation. This is a sabotage. We say, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to grab a snack. This is a sabotage. So unless we know this stuff and unless we start working, we can be stuck for a long time.
Oh, well, basically forever. Unless
yeah, that could be true too.
There's a long time. So, when I first started out as an entrepreneur, I was just going through the motions. I was doing all the things. And when people would say, oh, I help the spiritual side of the entrepreneur, I help with mindset, I would kind of be like, yeah, so what? That isn't going to do anything. And then my eyes were opened and I started reading about mindset. And I was like, hey, wait a second, this is a thing. So the word intuitive, when you say I'm intuitive, what does that really mean? Because I don't know how intuitive I am.
Okay, so let me just be clear. Every single person is intuitive.
Okay.
It's just some pick up the phone and tune into developing those abilities or skills. I'm like, I don't even have a good word for it. But did it ever happen like you think of someone and the phone rings?
All the time.
There we go.
All the time. This happened.
It takes for you to tune in and practice and develop that skill. For me, the intuitiveness comes when a lot of people come with some specific problems, whether let's say they hit the income ceiling, or there's some things not working, let's say in business or in life, or they have some traumas. for me, I can tell them exactly when things were created. That's the source of the root cause of all those things happening today, because what you see today, the way you speak, the way you think, the way you feel inside is just the outcome. So for me, I mean, it's a crucial step to know where it's all coming from, because the moment you know, you can neutralize oftentimes memories. And the moment you neutralize, there's no longer that kind of attachment, like that emotional charge, like you get into a new situation and you feel like some ickiness inside. That's just automatic emotional charge that travels back and forth because there is a program created that, okay, if you're getting into a new situation, that means there is some type of threat or possibility of this threat, that it can or it may or may not be real. So for me, I mean, I'm using that every single day, especially with business clients, because a lot of them are so analytical. Trust me, I'm analytical too, but it's really necessary to know where things coming from, because we can change how we do things 24/7. But eventually, what I see most of the time, what happens is those behaviors are last created after we create beliefs, after we create the system, like the reference points, like what's good, what's bad, the identities. And if we try to change that outcome, it's going to be temporarily. So sooner or later, we're going to come back to the old patterns. And then we're going to question what the heck is going on with us? Why we're not where we want to be or supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're saying you have to really get to the root of it. But here's my
Mhm.
question. This might not be answered. This might be like the holy grail here, but like if you let's say you're hitting an income ceiling,
Mhm.
how is that actually connected to your internal blocks? How is it not just circumstantial?
Okay. So let's look at this, because I love the income ceiling. And I was just actually talking about with someone this morning about that.
Okay.
So
I'm so
one
excited.
thing people don't realize, and I'm going to give you a couple examples.
Okay.
So income ceiling. First of all, you need to be able to receive things.
Yes.
You need to be able to ask. Now, emotions and feelings behind the receiving and asking are the same, or the basis is the same as receiving a compliment or receiving a flower or receiving someone like paying for your dinner. So thing number one, I always say, like, okay, how well do you receive compliments? Because that's the easiest way to check. Okay. So let's say, I know from my own experience, and from my background, I could never receive compliments. The first thing that would come to my mind would be like, what does he or she want from me?
Really?
What's going on there? What's the behind the scenes, or what they behind the mind, the thought process? So I had to kind of shift all that thinking and what I believe and what's true. So if there is any ickiness behind how we receive, or let's see, someone just genuinely giving me a compliment, how good your hair looks, or whatever else you do, if there is something less than good, you can easily close your eyes and check, and it was within your body. You got a block. So that's number one, receiving. You cannot freely receive because there's some things blocking you from freely receive, like in the flow, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Now, another thing is, you may perceive the money coming in as dangerous. And that brings me, I usually host the groups on Clubhouse on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And yesterday we had a room, and there was a gentleman. He's like, I'm not meant for $1 million because I know I'm going to spend it and I will not be able to keep it.
Wow.
So automatically, without even realizing, he told the reason, I mean, and the actual symptom, what's going on. So I'm like, okay, why you think that you're going to spend the money? Because for whatever reason, it's not safe for you to keep the money.
Yeah.
So even sometimes if we make money, we know that the pattern is to spend because it's not safe to keep for whatever reason. Whether it's a story created way back in the day that money, let's take it, the most common one, money is evil, or rich people, or not good people, or whatever other story. This kind of stupid phrase, it seems like, it just gets stuck with us. And unintentionally, we filter everything through that truth. Okay. Other thing, you may not feel good enough. So you'll always look for another thing to learn. I've done that, been there, done that. I learned every single strategy that exists. I even taught myself Facebook ads. It didn't get me anywhere. Okay? But because there's a feeling that whatever I have is not enough, I am not enough. I can work with people even like lower income levels than me or higher. It wouldn't matter because I don't feel that I have what it takes. So unless we figure out what's causing those patterns, and for that you actually need to know the patterns in the first place. That's how we create the income ceiling. I had a client a few months ago. He was making, before he came to me, he could make like 35, 50, 80,000 a month. Suddenly money stopped coming in. And there were a month where he would make similar money, but something would happen and he would have to spend that money. So what we found out was that the system, that internal system, caught up with him because he didn't address those things in the first place. So he was kind of forcing, that's what I called behavior change earlier that I mentioned.
Mhm.
So it happened to be that as a child, he was going to church. And the main story in that church was that the main message was that you cannot become rich because you have to always give back to the church majority of the money. So no matter how much you make, you're gonna hit the same issue, the same roadblock. And it's kind of seems impossible, but I see that over and over again. So go figure.
Wow. Okay. So let's say the people watching here, I'm sure many of us are seeing ourselves in these stories that you're telling.
Mhm.
How can we work with you to rid ourselves of these things and break away this ceiling?
There are different ways. It just depends what a person needs or what a person wants to see at the end, like outcome wise. If, let's say, money is the issue, I mean, they can take a course. I used to do live courses. Now I'm moving more towards like digital courses that I give support live on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So there is a group version and there is one-on-one version. So it depends what a person needs, because some people tell me, Renata, I only want to be around other people and I work better in groups. Other people say, don't give me groups. I want one-on-one attention. So it just depends. But I mean, anyone can message me and I'll be happy to just jump on a chat and just talk and see what the best version is. And if this is what I do is actually a fit. So
Okay, absolutely. Okay, so how can people reach you? What's the best way for them to reach you?
the best way, I'm on most social media. So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. If they're on Clubhouse, I always go using my handle Edge Savvy or just my name, Renata Mazur. So they can find me many different ways.
Okay, and you were saying that you host a room on Clubhouse every week, twice a week. So tell us
Yes,
about
it's Tuesday and Thursday in the Unlock Wealth Club. Mhm.
that. All right, awesome. And what time is that at in
Usually it's 7 p.m. Eastern.
yeah.
Yeah.
So after work when you can really stop and listen and get some really good tidbits. So
Yeah, on Tuesdays we cover usually some topic. So we go deep. My rooms are never like surface levels. And yesterday we were laughing because we drove like really deep into the topics. Anyone can ask a question and we dive deep. And on Thursdays, I do flash coaching. So we go into either personal stuff or we go into the business strategy. So either way, whatever people need, we'll do that. And we have support team there.
yay. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Renata, thank you so much for joining me today. Do you have any last, I mean, I feel like this has been 14 minutes of wisdom, but do you have any last words of wisdom to impart?
Ooh. See, last words. I say before you go and do anything, before you start learning something new, look what exactly is going on in life right now. I always say observe yourself and your life or your business for the next couple of weeks and see which parts of it is not working. And look what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what your patterns are, how you do things, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And if you know that, oh, I have a job, for example, that I'm not sure, like, but I just have to pay bills, and or I'm afraid to start the business, let's say, or I'm in the business, but I cannot bring the money in. Start looking at those patterns first and see what's going on there, because unless you're aware, you don't know what to change. And then whenever you're ready, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision consciously, intentionally, because without decision, you cannot commit. And the moment you have those two, decision and commitment, the right people are going to show up to help you to move to the next step. That's my final thought.
I love
For
it.
now.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, thanks so much for watching today. If you joined us live, thank you so much for being here. And if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay in the comments so that we know you are here. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to post ways that you can talk to Renata directly right in the comments. So thanks again for watching, Renata. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day.
Fun.